Well, let me ask you, John Ferry, you've been up on the Hill, you've seen this from within the party. Is this a full measure of how much of a lame duck George Bush is if he could not swing this vote?
That and a combination of coming 39 days before an election where members are worried about their own re-elections. The approval rating of Congress is around 20%. This is not going to help things, obviously, with that. But obviously the President and the Secretary Paulson have taken a beating over the last couple of weeks, and they just don't trust anybody anymore. That's the big problem.
It's also a measure, Ted Devine, of the lack of trust between the parties up there. This is really the outcome of all of this infighting that's been going on between the two parties as we approach the election.
It is, but I think John is right. I think when you're 39 days from an election, you're an incumbent. You're looking at the possibility, given an unknown challenger, an issue that could knock you out of office in 39 days, and a lot of these people just don't want to do it.
Mike Vaquera, what are you seeing up there on the Hill at this stage? Obviously, the clock is frozen. Time is standing still on Capitol Hill.
We saw one switch. It was 206, 227 a few moments ago now, of course, 207, 226. We have had one switch. I'm not in the chamber. I have no idea whether they're going to get any more. They need 10 more. They're obviously keeping this vote open. Obviously what's going on here, if this switch is any indication, is there is some serious arm twisting going on in the back of that chamber. Republican conservatives have been vehemently against this all along, Andrea. You know their argument. Ever since Hank Paulson brought that program to the Hill the Saturday before last, they said that the core of this measure, that the taxpayer should be on the hook for $700 billion, the whole Main Street, Wall Street argument was unacceptable to them. They call it American socialism. It is against their free market principles. It is 39 days before an election. They have an unpopular president in the White House. You throw all this together, and this is what we have now. On the verge of, well, I don't know if it's going to be a calamity or not, but I'm not the only person to say that it will be if this thing does not fail. So, I don't know how many of these Republicans they're going to be able to turn, and I don't know how many of these Democrats are going to be able to turn. Democrats, for their part, said it was the wrong prescription. They were waving around papers from respected economists who said that this was not the right way to go. There are liberals and populists who, oddly enough, or ironically enough, are using many of the same arguments that the people who are usually at the opposite end of the political spectrum were using, and that is that this is a bailout for Wall Street that is completely unjustified.